The most terrifying shark encounters ever recorded. Negative shark encounters are more likely to happen to surfers and deep-sea explorers, but they are not frequent. Concerns have recently been expressed in response to CNN reporting that, as of October of this year, 7 people have died at the hands of sharks in Australia. Shark fans, welcome to Predator of the Deep. Subscribe today and join our community to stay informed and amazed by the latest in shark research and sightings. In today's video, we're going to look at the most terrifying shark encounters ever recorded. This time, we'll explore the most terrifying shark encounters in history, despite the way severe shark attacks are portrayed in films. But before we proceed to further video, if you're new to this channel, remember, go ahead and hit the bell icon to subscribe so you won't miss the informative videos we will upload in the future. The most terrifying shark encounters ever recorded. These kinds of deaths have not been seen in the nation since 1934. There have been 21 shark attack incidences worldwide this year, which is comparable to other years. The notable distinction is the death toll. While some experts attribute this to the climate problem, others attribute it to variations in annual data. Rising ocean temperatures are disrupting ecosystems, causing changes in fish migration patterns and species behaviors. As a result, sharks are tracking their prey and approaching populated coastal areas. Rodney Fox. A great white shark nearly killed 23-year-old Rodney Fox in 1963 when he was vying for the Australian Spearfishing Championship. The predator dragged him upside down through the water, grabbing hold of his midsection. Fox, fighting for his life, temporarily freed himself from the shark by gouging out its eyes, but the shark came back to attack again. In a desperate attempt to escape, Fox forced his arm into the shark's neck, resulting in severe injuries. Dragged down the water floor, Fox nearly drowned, but he miraculously survived. Upon rescue and transfer to a nearby boat, Fox sustained severe injuries, necessitating 360 stitches and extensive surgery. Randall Fry. In 2004, Cliff Zimmerman and his companion Randall Fry were alone diving off the coast of California. Tragic events occurred. Zimmerman remembered turning away from Fry for a while, but then he heard a whooshing sound and felt something move in the water, like a boat passing by. After whirling around, Zimmerman found Fry gone, and the surrounding water became red as a shark fin momentarily surfaced. In a frantic attempt to survive, Zimmerman swam for his life, only to discover Fry's decapitated head and body separated the following day. Terrence Manuel. Terrence, in 1974, a 10-foot white pointer severed Manuel's right leg in a terrifying ordeal. At the age of 26, Manuel had been diving in 30 feet of water in search of sea snails when he suddenly came to the surface and yelled to his friend John Talbot about the shark. Talbot tried to get Manuel into their boat, but he could not stop the attack. Regrettably, Talbot couldn't halt Manuel's fatal bleeding in the sea, leaving him with no choice but to observe. Barry Wilson. In 1952, observers saw 17-year-old Barry Wilson abruptly jerking from side to side while swimming near Lover's Point on the California coast. A shark attacked the young tuba player from the front and pulled him under, causing him to scream. Wilson reappeared in a pool of blood, flailing and screaming. Wilson unfortunately succumbed to his injuries and bled to death before reaching the coast, despite the efforts of 5 fellow swimmers who tried for 30 minutes to pull him back to shore through the high surf. The Pacific Coast. Over the course of 15 days in 1984, there were 4 shark attacks off the U.S. Pacific coast. The horrific series of events began with Omar Conger, a 28-year-old abalone diver, passing away. As Conger lay face up in the water, staring out to sea, his partner Chris Rem saw a great white shark surface from the water behind him. Later, when Rem recounted the event, he explained how the shark had taken hold of Conger from behind, giving him a hard shake before pulling him underneath. The shark surfaced again and turned to face Rem. Rem pulled Conger onto their dive mat, and he was able to swim on shore. But sadly, Conger died from his wounds and bled to death in the ocean. Robert Pamperin. Robert Pamperin met a terrible end in June 1959 while diving off La Jolla Cave in California in search of sea snails. Gerald Lara, who was with him, heard his frantic pleas for assistance and spun around to see Pamperin in a dangerous position in the water without his diving mask. Lara drew nearer, and he saw Pamperin getting further drawn under by a gigantic 22-foot shark. Lara tried to stop Pamperin, but she disappeared into thin air. The U.S. Coast Guard searched again, but found nothing save a single swim fin, bleak proof of the awful event. Jersey Shore. 4 people lost their lives in a string of deadly shark attacks that shook New Jersey's American coast during the sweltering heat wave of 1916. While swimming in the early evening, sharks brutally tore the flesh off of 25-year-old Charles Vincent's thigh, causing him to bleed to death. 5 days later, a shark attacked Charles Bruder, 27, while he was swimming off the Spring Lake beach, severing both of his legs and tearing into his belly. The attacks culminated in Matawan Creek on July 12, 6 days later. A shark pulled 12-year-old Lester Stilwell, a local youngster, underwater while he was having fun in the creek with pals. Stanley Fisher, 24, bravely entered the ocean to search for Stilwell, but the shark bit him, causing him to die from his wounds. 2 days later, the 12-year-old's disfigured body washed up 150 feet upstream. Durden, Shirley Ann. When Shirley Ann Durden went scallop diving in Peak Bay, Australia in 1985, she came across a massive great white shark that was around 20 feet long. Sadly, the enormous creature ripped the 33-year-old woman in half during its first attack, while her husband and 4 children watched the horrifying spectacle from the shore. When rescuers arrived, her headless torso was the only thing floating in the sea. The shark reappeared shortly after and ate all of the remnants, disappearing completely. The ship, HMS Birkenhead. A terrible nautical tragedy occurred when the HMS Birkenhead perished off the coast of South Africa in 1852. There were soldiers, women, and kids among the more than 600 passengers and crew members on board. The ship plummeted, leaving many at the mercy of the sea and its predators. Survivors were reportedly attacked by sharks while waiting for help. The soldiers on the Birkenhead are well known for maintaining their composure in the face of pandemonium and allowing women and children to board lifeboats before men. The Birkenhead gained notoriety for this unselfish deed, solidifying its status as a maritime icon of bravery and altruism in the face of danger. The USS Indianapolis disaster, shark survival. The USS Indianapolis's sinking in July 1945 gave rise to one of the most terrifying accounts of survival and terrifying shark encounters in naval history. The Philippine Sea left hundreds of seamen abandoned and without food or drink for 4 days. Throughout this period, ocean white-tipped sharks attacked them non-stop. Survivor tales describe the terrifying experience of witnessing friends devoured by sharks as a sobering reminder of the ocean's ruthlessness. This incident highlights the unpredictability of interactions between humans and marine creatures, as well as the dangerous nature of maritime warfare. The USS Indianapolis survival story has had a profound impact on shark behavior research, particularly in relation to how humans interact with these animals in open waters. Since then, the accident has served as a sobering reminder of the importance of maritime safety, spurring advancements in both military and commercial vessels' life-saving gear and procedures. An unexplained pattern of events. The Egyptian resort of Sharm el-Sheikh had 5 of the scariest shark attacks in a matter of days in December 2010, one of which resulted in death. Because of the popular tourist sites and their rapid increase in frequency, the attacks were especially distressing. Investigations suggest that a mix of causes, including overfishing and unlawful shark feeding, may have led to these worst shark attacks, altering the shark's natural behavior. These events triggered a global conversation on the precarious balance between human activity in coastal regions and the conservation of marine species. Following the attacks at Sharm el-Sheikh, there are now more stringent regulations governing human contact with marine species, especially in tourist-heavy areas. The episode serves as a sobering reminder of the possible outcomes that can arise when human activity disturbs sharks' natural eating habits and habitats. Though horrifying, shark attacks provide insight into the intricate relationships that exist between humans and the natural world. We can lessen the chance of unpleasant encounters and recognize the important role sharks play in our waters by being aware of their behavior and showing respect for their ecosystems. Don't forget to like the video and hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any new videos from our channel. Thanks for watching, and see you all soon.